Good evening, Bahamas. Coming up tonight, water and sewage employees to strike tomorrow. A man sentenced to 33 years for killing police inspector Carlos Blatch. The Centerville MP wants government to stop playing politics. Plus, a weekend of launches for carnival bands.
Our News is brought to you by Alive.
Welcome to Our News, and thanks for joining us. I'm Kyle WALKINE. Despite threats of a pay cut, the presidents of the two unions representing management and staff at the Water and Sewage Corporation are putting the public on notice that their members are going on strike tomorrow. This comes as the corporation announced the transfers of 11 managers, including the managers union president, who will be assigned to the garage. Jared Higgs reports.
Tomorrow morning, bring your tennis, bring your dominoes, bring your checkers. You'll have tents available, you'll have eats and drinks available, and the party starts.
That's BUSAWU President DWAYNE Woods letting a group of workers on a tea break know that Tuesday is strike day.
London Bridge is falling down here at the corporation, and including the structural collapse of the Human Resources Department.
The decision comes as the union and the corporation's executive management remain at odds over several issues, including stalled negotiations for a new industrial agreement and unpaid overtime from restoration work in Abaco. Woods is now asking the Prime Minister to intervene.
It's saying that the minister has gone on record and saying that he supports the executive chairman, although he is wrong. We are begging the Prime Minister to come out and resolve these matters, because the people are depending on him.
The corporation's management union says it will join in the strike effort. President EDNOL ROLLE says the biggest issue is an unsigned industrial agreement.
We just want the minister, since he say that all the customers are happy with the service at Water and Sewage, and he didn't realize it's us who make those customers happy, that's on him.
Now, the corporation fired back last week, calling the union's claims unreasonable. Now, they also say that the overtime issue in Abaco is under investigation. Woods says he doesn't agree.
The union resents the statement of claim of the executive chairman and the general manager, and we beg to differ based on our own investigation. Secondly, I would like to say that, that if there was an investigation going on the overtime, we have a representative trade union in the workplace, and we have no knowledge of that.
The unions and executive management at Water and Sewerage have been at odds for nearly a year. Last April, Labour Minister Dion Fowkes certified a strike vote taken by BUSAWU members. Reporting for Our News, I'm Jared Higgs.
Well, WSC's Human Resources Division issued a staff advisory today warning that going on strike is an illegal action, and Water and Sewage would be obliged to cut the salaries of employees who leave their posts unmanned in a disruptive illegal industrial action spurred by Woods. The corporation added it will file a trade dispute with the Department of Labor given what officials called the consistent and total disruption of BUSAWU President DWAYNE Woods as he campaigns to win the upcoming election. Water and Sewage warned that if Woods continues to disrupt the workplace, he too will be subject to a pay cut. The man accused of killing a police officer during an armed robbery has been jailed for 33 years. 48-year-old Timothy Cole admitted to the murder and armed robbery of Inspector Carlos Blatch when he appeared before Justice Bernard Turner for the start of his trial. Cole avoided a potential death sentence by his guilty plea. Blatch, who served as aide to successive governors general, was picking up his son from H.O. Nash when he was ordered out of his car by a gunman. The assailant then shot him as his young daughter looked on from the backseat of his blue Hyundai Elantra. The gunman then made off with the vehicle, but not before Blatch's daughter was able to escape unharmed and call for help. The police officer of 23 years was taken to hospital, where he later died. A 40-year-old Haitian man was sentenced to 3 years in prison and subsequent deportation after he pleaded guilty in the magistrate's court to several fraud-related charges today. Jackson Similian in the red plaid shirt was charged with 4 counts of possession of a forged document, 4 counts of uttering a forged document, 2 counts of attempted fraud by false pretenses, and 1 count of fraud by false pretenses. On February 4th, Similian allegedly presented a forged birth certificate in his daughter's name to the Registrar General Department. It is further alleged that back on January 28, 2014, CIMILIAN presented a birth certificate to the Bahamas Passport Office with the intent to defraud and obtain from the Passport Office a certificate of identification in the name of his daughter by means of false pretenses. Then on April 12, 2016, CIMILIAN allegedly presented a forged certificate of entry and a yellow elder primary letter of attendance to the Department of Immigration and then obtained a belongers permit. Progressive Liberal Party leader Philip Davis has accused Minister of National Security Marvin Dames of being tone-deaf and insensitive after the minister insisted there is no cause for alarm over a string of recent housebreaking incidents on New Providence. Bethany McDermott reports.
Tone-deaf and insensitive is how PLP leader Philip Davis labeled comments by National Security Minister Marvin Dames, who recently downplayed growing concerns over a string of burglaries. The minister's comments came hours after former Governor General Sir Arthur Folkes woke up to discover that his Western New Providence home had been broken into overnight. 2 days earlier, a West Ridge woman met her home ransacked. However, Dames insisted we live in an era where every issue is magnified by social media. Davis called that an inadequate response.
It is amazing that the Minister of National Security, Marvin Dames, would be so tone-deaf and insensitive to dismiss the fears of the public after hearing that there was a home invasion and burglary of the former Governor General Sir Arthur Folkes' home.
Davis pointed out that this is not the first time a former Governor General was the victim of a home invasion. Former Governor General Dame Marguerite Pinling's home was reportedly invaded, and according to Davis, a report was made and the Prime Minister was asked to intervene.
Nothing has done as far as I'm aware.
In the case of Sir Arthur, the burglary was reported to police, but the matter was not included in the daily crime report. Days before that incident, 2 men forced their way into a Coral Harbor home. One of them sexually assaulted her before they robbed the home and escaped in the victim's vehicle. Another woman was sexually assaulted on January 14th by a man who broke into her Marshall Road home. Davis says these incidents are cause for concern.
Yet, the minister says that there's no cause for alarm. He sought to blame social media for enlarging the exposure of the issue. His tone was insensitive and dismissive.
Now Davis is calling on government to provide adequate protection for all former governors general. Reporting for Our News, I'm Bethany McDermott.
A high-speed chase turned deadly last night after police say the driver they were pursuing crashed into a dump truck and his car burst into flames on impact. According to the police report, it all started shortly before 11 p.m. and officers responded to reports of persons fighting in the street on Mildred Avenue off Carmichael Road. Witnesses identified a man sitting in a silver Nissan as the perpetrator. Police say when they approached the vehicle, the man sped off, leading officers on a high-speed chase which ended on Carmichael Road, west of Gladstone Road. The man reportedly lost control of the vehicle and crashed into a parked dump truck. The driver was pronounced dead on the scene. An investigation has been launched into this incident. Still to come, a former F&M MP accuses government of politicizing everything. Plus, carnival bands get ready for the road. Stay tuned.
Early deficit. Is going to have to be Cornelius Clive, their point guard who just scored. Here he is right now.
Former Free National Movement MP REECE CHIPMAN is slamming his former party and its leader for kicking into campaign mode while he says Bahamians continue to suffer. CHIPMAN says the politicking is not only insulting, but also a slap in the face as he accused the Minister administration of using marijuana as a distraction from its poor performance. Jasmine Brown reports.
The Centreville MP says with thousands of Bahamians still suffering, the fact is the Minister administration is campaigning too much too soon as he accused them of politicizing just about everything, including the controversial marijuana issue.
The politics of a people I think is getting the best of them.
CHIPMAN's comments come in response to the Prime Minister's decision to launch his re-election campaign last month at an event that was billed as a town hall meeting but quickly took the shape of a political rally. At the event, Dr. Minnis touted his record in office while lashing critics and declaring that the victory train is officially on a roll. But CHIPMAN says nothing could be further from reality.
We are politicizing an atmosphere that right now just needs all hands on deck in terms of trying to ensure that the people of Abaco and Grand Bahama are not only safe, but are rebuilding. And so, yes, I'm still not sure what that was, because as I watched on and looked on, I learned nothing.
In recent weeks, the PM has also been vocal about marijuana law reform. He tabled the Marijuana Commission's report in the House of Assembly last week, Wednesday. It's no secret that Dr. Minnis supports the expungement of the criminal records of those convicted of possession of small amounts of marijuana. CHIPMAN insisted marijuana is just another issue that has been politicized by the government.
We have to be careful. I think we're politicizing some issues too soon. I think that this administration still has another 2 years of work towards what the Bahamian people need. And I think just willy-nilly throwing out distractions such as expunging records, incarceration, etc., is a little bit too soon in terms of politics.
CHIPMAN says the bottom line is the government should be more focused on improving the lives of Bahamians and less concerned about scoring cheap political points. Reporting for Our News, I'm Jasmine Brown.
Leno, a group of companies, broke ground today on the site that will house its new corporate headquarters. Leno founder and CEO Sean K. Longley says the glass and steel building, which will be located at 3rd Terrace and Centerville, will cost an estimated $25 million.
We're looking at occupying the top floor, all of our group of companies, and then we're going to rent the balance of it out. This building is going to be a fully efficient building. We're going to fully solarize the building, rainwater tanks and everything.
Construction of the 50,000 square foot building is expected to provide 150 to 200 jobs with a completion date of 2021. Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis stressed the importance of Bahamian-owned businesses and their economic impact.
As you plan for the future, I invite you to pay special attention to the needs of small business and aspiring entrepreneurs and those who have great potential.
Bahamas Carnival 2020 season is in full swing now that groups have begun showing exactly what costumes revelers will be hitting the road in this May. Bahamas Masqueraders, Enigma, and Euphoria Madness kicked off costume launches this weekend with all the colors and vibes you can imagine. The Winner's Circle kicked things off Friday night at the Mass Camp, where Bahamas Masqueraders celebrated legacy. The legend continues. With feathers, wires, and a whole lot of skin, this year's costumes took us around the world, from the Nubian Kingdom to the Golden Empire.
They've all left legacies for us to look at with incredible art, science, structure, and we wanted to emulate them and send the message that the Bahamas Masqueraders, we're not involved, we're not focused on having a good carnival, but we're focused on creating a legacy.
The models weren't at all shy to show off their moves either. This is year 6 for Bahamas Carnival, and designer Latoya Moxley says she had to do things a bit differently.
Every year people come here and they expect masqueraders to take it up a notch, and I don't think we disappointed this year. I think it's going to be really, really hard for people to choose, but like you said, Nubian Kingdom is where it's at, so we hope everybody reach out. The purple and orange, we go back to our root, Wakanda forever. So anybody who wants to be feeling themselves properly in 2020 got to come over to our section.
On night 2, E-Nation opened Pandora's box of secrets. Enigma pulling out all the stops outside Mario's Entertainment Palace for its costume launch, unlocking the keys to the many sections.
Sexiness as always, innovation as always, vibes as always, and the ultimate carnival experience. We're taking it up another year.
Enigma PR coordinator Anthony Coakley sharing the hype. He says we'll be on the road come May when Enigma takes its vibes throughout the Bahamas Carnival experience.
It's going to be an amazing costume experience that is going to absolutely blow your mind.
And closing out the weekend on Sunday was Euphoria Madness. The group transformed Waterloo into soca heaven as it gets ready to take revelers on a journey through Africa.
There's a lot of art within Africa. You get the clothing, you get their piercings, you get the way they dress their faces and so forth. So that's why I went with Mama Africa, to pay a tribute to the art coming from Africa.
You can catch more from the group's launches and all things Carnival during the premiere of Our TV's Countdown to Carnival next month. Still to come, a couple shares their love story in our new series, Love in Paradise. Stay tuned.
Hey. Speaking of ideas, though. Yeah, solid idea, but.
Here we go again.
Joking, boy.
Murder? Got that on their passport, so they better name it murder.
Hey, what did you start? Just gotta be a blessing, boy, because ain't nobody that's stupid to come here to lose their money. Losing money, boy.
Gina T? On your right nipple, Gina? Who the last?
Don't be what this is, though.
Hey, Chrissy brothers, we gotta sing to you. Happy birthday from the Chrissy crew. We can buy one down now, and all of us can share it. I like him. He's funny. You think that funny? Bum chicky, bum chicky, bum chicky, bum chicky, bum chicky. It's a birthday, bum chicky.
You're watching Our News. Welcome back. Love can be defined as a complex set of emotions or behaviors, but for Donna and Kendall Campbell, it's all about keeping it simple. Georgia Bain has their story in Our News series, Love in Paradise.
When Kendall Campbell was 15 years old, he went to Our Lady's schoolroom with his best friend, Walter Callender. That's when he laid eyes on Donna for the first time. Kendall said he told his best friend that she was going to be his wife, and they've been together ever since.
I love everything about him. He's a wonderful person.
That is the way I look at my love for her. Like a snowball rolling down the side of a snow-covered hill. It's growing.
While the couple bragged about their love, they admitted that their love for their children played a major part in their 48-year marriage. However, on December 9th, 2011, everything changed when Donna suffered a mild stroke.
I was about to retire from the bank. I've been in banking all my life. And I got sick that I ran away, and just as I came back, I started to feel pains in my leg. But I thought it was nothing to it. And I thought about that Tuesday, I started to have pains. I fell right down, and my leg just gave way right on me. It just seemed like this. So when I went to the doctor, he said I had a stroke. He said it was a mild stroke, but he said your leg is very, very weak, and you would need extensive therapy. And my husband was with me 24/7. He never left my side. And every morning, before he go to work, he would be in the kitchen singing and asking the Lord. I would hear him asking the Lord to please give me back my wife.
Through the trials and tribulations of her sickness, Donna said she was amazed by her husband's resilience.
He would walk me around the house, walk me around the neighborhood, but he was never ashamed of me. And he was never ashamed of my sickness. And I would say, "You ashamed to take me out walking like this?" He'd say, "No, sweetheart."
So what's the Campbell secret to making it for 48 years?
Communication. Communication. Keep the lines of communication open. Do things together. You go to church, go together. You see, in life, you're going to cry together. You're going to laugh. But keep the lines of communication open.
According to the Campbells, another rule is never going to bed angry.
I look forward to, even after this life, being where she is.
For Our News, I'm Georgia Bain.